Mandalorian. His body is shielded by Beskar armour. His face is hidden behind a T-visored mask, and his past is wrapped in mystery. No one is quite sure who the well-equipped stranger is.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Centurion's Corner, and today we're reviewing Star Wars The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian. So, as we all know, and highly anticipated for the release of Season 2, coming October the 30th on Disney+. And I'm hoping this time around it's actually everywhere, because obviously Disney Plus last year was slowly dropping in America, then Europe was a little bit later on in March, so we had to watch these kind of legally. But yeah, hopefully now we can all sit down and watch it together with no spoilers. And just as a good sneak peek, we've had the trailer, and now we actually have the release of The Mandalorian in his always Beskar armour, looking all nice and shiny and very fine indeed. So looking in the thing, kind of looks like he's got the same accessories before. I don't really see too much sort of kind of differences, so we'll do a side by side kind of difference with the older one. Obviously the colours are slightly different. We've got his kind of rifle, which is the kind of homage to Boba Fett from the holiday special. We've got another pistol again up here, but also this time he's got his jetpack. On the side we've got a nice fine picture of the Mandalorian, just all in this kind of nice sort of sunburnt orange, I want to say. I think they bring out another colour with an actual physical bright orange on it. This is kind of like a dark tan, isn't it? It's like on there. On this side we've just got that coloration of the line and the colour. And on the back we've got his picture and the bio, and he's number 1 in the Mandalorian kind of thing. So I'm guessing now the Mandalorian has its own numbering, same as the Rebels and etc. A bit like Pops with their Star Wars and the horror specials and stuff like that, I guess. So I guess without further ado, we can just crack this bad boy open. Well, here he is in his blister pack. So we've got no hidden accessories. We could see them all in that nice blister window there. So we're just going to get them out, have our first impressions, and then go away for his review. Out comes his jetpack. So, looking pretty similar to before. I think his helmet looks better. There was always something about the old one, and his helmet always looks a little bit off to me, but I don't know if it's the same mould or not. So I'll go away, do some compares, and then we're coming for his full review in a mo. So, welcome back, and yeah, the Mandalorian. He's a pretty cool figure, I must admit, and I would say just go out and get him now if you're really interested in this figure, because this guy will fly off like hotcakes, because obviously Season 2 is just coming around the corner, and if you want him for Christmas, it's probably ideal to pick him up now. So, in general, this figure, he's not too bad. He's got a few nitpicks here and there as we'll pick up for the review, but it's not actually the figure itself. I just feel slightly a little bit let down because of Hasbro and their slight laziness now and again. So looking at the figure himself, he comes with 3 accessories. His first accessory is his pistol. That sits nicely in his holster. Obviously it comes with a peg that you can just peg in, and we can just pull that out, and it fits very nicely in his trigger finger, with the hole literally just going straight through into the trigger part. It's painted silver with a brown grip, and this is one of the slight differences what we got from the original, so I'll just be referring to this one as we go through. So it's kind of an old gunmetal with a slightly darker sort of tinge on the actual pistol. His other accessory he comes with is kind of like the blaster lancer kind of rifle. This is the older one below and the newer one on top. So as you can tell, there's really not much difference in them, apart from a little slight change on the silver at the top. But it's all done in a sort of a brown plastic with a painted stock silver part up here and on the end. on the back, just pretty much exactly the same, and they come with the pegs as well. So this is one of the reasons why I find a little bit let down from Hasbro, is that this year was when the other Mandalorian come out, it was really frustrating. This always kind of popped out the rifle, and I never actually display him with the rifle part because it just easily pops out. It doesn't click in all the way, it doesn't push right in, and you've got this vinyl cape that has to kind of sort of like tuck behind it, but as soon as you do that, it just pops it out too much and falls on the floor. So that's one of my sort of grapes that I have with this figure, to be honest. It's just really just yeah, it's just lazy, I just find it. So we can just pop that out just like so, and his third accessory is his jetpack, and it's done in a very sort of dark, horrible grey looking plastic. It feels kind of different as well compared to the other plastic that's used, and I'm sure it's supposed to be pretty much solid silver, but we got it in this kind of like pre-cast kind of unpainted look. And it does actually remind me of one of those sort of resin jetpacks that have been made. So it is a bit poor. It does fit into the same port as well on the back as the gun. So we've got the three little pegs that just fit into his back. They do fit in snug and nice as well. So as you can see, they just pop in. And yeah, apart from that, it fits really good. Apart from his cape that has nowhere to go once it's in use. So you can't even tuck it underneath. You can't really do anything with it. So the only thing you can do is really kind of just pull the cape off, and that's the way he's going to have to wear it, unfortunately, unless we make a sort of custom cape, which is what I was thinking of doing with a Return of the Jedi Luke cape at one point. I was going to do it for the first Mandalorian, but I might do it with this guy, just so I can actually get some action scenes and some nice pictures taken with him without his cape just always kind of not hanging on the shoulder the way it should. So with that, we can actually just pop that straight back off, and while his cape is off, we'll go through his articulation. So his head can go left, go right, it can look down and it can look up. We've got a rotation here at the waist, rotation at the here, the shoulder, got rotation at the elbow, and it's on a 90-degree bend. We've got a rotation here at the wrist, and it's on the hinge. Legs can go forward this far, back this far, out this wide. We've got rotation here at the upper thigh. We've got a double jointed knee just right there, and a rocker and a pivot. So actually the articulation on this guy is really sort of done really well, but obviously it's just exactly the same figure as we got last year, and he was done really nicely as well. So with that, really, we can just pop his cape back over, just sort of stretches over, maybe not do it all the time. But this is kind of where I just feel like Hasbro just got a bit lazy. I just find this bandolier with the hole in the back, it's the same as before. I wish there was another way that they could do it. And the cape as well. This is a big thing that in Instagram as well, everyone did moan about the cape, and it's kind of really sort of frustrating that they just still went along with it and done it again. And we've had other characters out before where they've had a bit of cloth or vinyl before, like Phasma, and then later on they brought her out with a cloth cape, and some bits as well with Kylo Ren and etc. as well. So I think they should have just bit the bucket and sort of just upgraded it in a way. But going over his looks in general, he's pretty cool. He is literally just the same character. I thought the helmets were different, but they're not. It's just this one's got that kind of mud look on there, so maybe that's where I thought it was slightly different. The shoulders, obviously they're different, but they're just plugged on over the top of the original mould, as these would be removable because they're extra sculpts. The chest, I'm still not 100% sure if it is exactly the same or not. I know the armour is different, but the actual kind of like creases and stuff in the armour and the bit at the bottom down here looks exactly the same, so I don't know whether they just sort of kind of managed to sort of 3D print the old sculpt and put on a new chest. We've got a bit at the back as well, just behind the capes, so you can see the difference in there. It's more sort of sculpted and more angled than the previous. Back of the belts as well, so the actual bandolier is done in a sort of a lighter tan. All the other parts on there, the only thing I notice is that this belt has got a painted kind of stud
when this one hasn't. That's the only thing I noticed on there that's not painted, that the other one. We've got his sort of gauntlets, slightly improved, with extra sort of like bits and weaponry on there compared to the basic ones before. And same on this side. We've got the flamethrower, etc. on there, and looking more bulkier. Going down to the legs, the only thing that's different is his left leg, which is kind of like no kind of rivet part on this one, and this one has got his new Beskar armor on there. And then going down to the legs, we've just got a little bit more paint on here. We've got the old sort of Boba Fett kind of knee guard, sorry, and then we've still got the shin guard on this one, which is kind of like, I think it's like the old Scarif kind of troopers all had these, so or the Menben troopers and stuff like that. So yeah, you've still got that part on there. But apart from that, he's still a really good figure. It looks really nice. I just find, like, especially the cape. I mean, you can't even put the backpack on there and stuff like that. But I know there's an accessory pack later coming out for the Mando, so maybe it's going to be a cloth cape with kind of jetpack parts that you can put into these plugs. Because I know apparently you can put the Iron Man plugs in there. If you've got some of those from the Legends series, they actually fit in there to give you off that blaster look effect. But in all, he's a good figure. I would highly recommend, and definitely go out there and get him right now. Just why the price is fine, and he's a little bit easier available compared to what it would be like in a few months' time, especially when Season 2 drops. But yeah, that kind of brings me to the end of it. Would I recommend this figure? Yeah, of course I would. You know, it's the Mandalorian. It looks perfect on the shelf with all the others. And I just can't wait for more of these figures to come out, to be honest. So, guys, girls, you can comment down below. You can follow me on Instagram, which is in the description. And you can comment and like. So thank you once again, and I'll see you next time. Bye!